Man, welcome back to the Fake Stuff Podcast. We are back at it again. And Craft, man, I don't know about you, but I like to hold my head up high when I go into war. Because tonight, me and Craft, man, are going to go at it a little bit because we talking Dynasty wide receiver rankings. Craft, man, in the building. What's going on, big dog?
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. It's the end of rookie season, and I love rookie season. Like when it starts, I'm like, I cannot wait to watch all these rookies and get into it, do the rookie draft, and then after it's over, you're like, oh my god, we can actually talk about the 99% of the league that we haven't talked about in like 2 months. So this is kind of like the kickoff of the off season for us, going into Dynasty and redraft and everything else. So, like, super excited tonight.
Yeah, I think Dynasty rankings is definitely one of those things where it's like every year, hey, if I, you know what, Craft Man, I wish we could get in leagues where everybody just posted Dynasty rankings and make people put their money where their mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Because I get to see a lot of Dynasty rankings from the guys I play with in my home league, and I'm just like, oh, you think that about this player? Oh, you should come get him from me then if you really think that, if you're really about it. So it's just interesting to see what people really think. And as you're doing this exercise and me and you, we both did it multiple times just to get one draft that we finally like. It's like you really figure out how you feel about these players and where you value them. So this is like an exercise I fucking love to do.
Yeah, Dynasty rankings are a lot different than doing a redraft. Redraft, who's going to score more this year? That's the only thing you have to ask. With these, you got to, when you're mixing in the veterans with the young guys, the only way that I can do it is to just say, if I'm on the clock and I'm doing a startup draft, who am I drafting? Like, if I'm sitting there looking at it, who am I drafting first? And of course, like, things can change if your team was built a certain way during the startup and you're headed one direction instead of the other. But, that's the way I did my rankings anyway.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of a mix of both. Like, I don't know. I do my wide receiver rankings, and then I think about what direction in a startup my teams are going to go. So some things change. And some of these tiers will be a little wonky too, I feel like. But like I clearly have a tier of veterans, more older veterans and stuff like that. We really just gonna get right into it. I do want to say this with wide receiver rankings. I rank wide receiver rankings a little bit more how I want to say how the community ranks them. Because when it comes to running backs, I feel like you can start putting a little shorter timeline on some of these rankings on running backs, like maybe how they're going to do for 1 or 2 years or something like that. Wide receiving, I mean, it's the longevity of wide receiver rankings of these wide receivers. Like, some of these guys might not be good for 3 years, but then pop off in year 4, 5, and 6 and stuff like that. Tight ends. I almost approach tight end rankings like a redraft ranking at this point. So I just want to say, like, wide receiver rankings are. I feel like I'm a little more in tune with the fantasy community with this type of ranking. You know what I mean, Kraft?
Oh yeah. Looking at the ADP and seeing where people got them at, we're not that. I don't feel like I'm that far off. There's definitely a couple players where I'm like, all right, I'm putting my flag down. I'm calling it. I'm going all in for it. And if I'm wrong, then I just look like an idiot. But it's really how I would approach my own draft. Like, I like Jahan Dotson back in the day. I traded a lot for him. Like, I called my shot on him. I missed him. It is what it is. Last year, McConkey drafted him at the 102. It was like, I just do that kind of stuff. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But, like, that's the way I like to do these rankings. But you don't want to go into it being like, I got to be different than the public, because shit, the public's right a lot of the times. Like, there's some smart people out there.
All right, well, heck, man, fuck it. We're going to hop right on in. Real quick, everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast, and share the show if you don't mind. But, Craft Man, tier 1, And I didn't make too many banners tonight, and we don't even have to talk about these guys. But to me, this tier right here has been the same at least last year, and I can't remember the year before. But this tier right here has not really changed for me. Maybe the order of these players have changed. Amon Ra always seems to slide in fourth for me, but I want to say something quick about Jamar Chase. I got him one this year, and he was the one that I had the most to say about last offseason because he had done a little bit less than some of these guys. Like, if Amon Ra had done what Jamar Chase had done, he would never enter tier one in some of these rankings. But Jamar Chase went the fuck off last year, answered everything I had to say last year or whatever. So I put him at number one, and he's got Joe Burrow. To me, he's in a little bit better situation than Justin Jefferson, and because Justin Jefferson got a rookie quarterback coming in. So you never know what that's going to look like. And, I had CD at 1 last year. And I don't really think, if you had CD at 1 again, I wouldn't care because I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to lead the league in passing again this year.
Probably.
I said it last year, and Dak got hurt, but I think that's going to happen again. But same tier, same thing. Amon Ra, I want to say shout out to the crew because you motherfuckers send me the worst offers for somebody like Amon Ra. And Amon Ra has finished higher than Justin Jefferson multiple seasons now. So I'm just saying, Amon Ra, let's give him a little bit of respect. He's in my tier 1 with these guys, but go ahead, Kraft man.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about Chase where he's been my number 1 for 2 or 3 years now, and my point of that was a couple years ago was Burrow got hurt and Dak was healthy and CD went off, and I was just like, well, switch it around. What if Burrow stays healthy and Dak gets hurt? And that's exactly what happened last year. And Chase went off. But it's funny with Chase because I remembered about week 3 last season. I think Dunk was on the podcast. I said, I'm about tired. Chase is going to have to show me something. Like, he hasn't done anything. Like, he's going to have to show me something. I was like, send me Nico in a first. Just send me Nico in a first. I might look at it. I might do it. And ever since I said that shit, it was just been like Jamar Chase just shut me up real quick. He was like, this is what I'm going to give you. So, yeah, I'm happy that I didn't do nothing stupid and drastic. And you can't get – it's very hard to get any of these 4 guys from anybody. And like you said, Amon Ra is really the only one that I feel like you can kind of tear down and get someone plus. But the other guys, you're going to have to send – you might as well just not even send trades out for them guys because you're not going to get it.
Yeah, I mean,
you ain't getting Chase from me.
Well, yeah. I mean, somebody can send you 3 first rounds, and you just won't even laugh at it. You just push it to the side. Like, I'd rather have. But all right. So we don't really have me and Kraft. We ain't gonna talk about these guys for too much longer. But did you want to say anything about like our tier 2 guys? Guys like Puka, Brian Thomas Jr. I got Drake London in there, Malik Neighbors. I mean, how do you feel about those guys? I mean, because the reason why I bring them up is because me and you got them pretty similar. I think you got Neighbors one ahead, and I think I got Drake London one ahead of you. But anything you want to say about those type of guys right there?
So do you have Puka at 5?
I do.
I was very surprised by that. I haven't heard you talk a whole lot about Puka, and with the Stafford situation, I didn't know if you would do it. Is there any any caution with these guys? Do you think that you think they've already broke out and it's over with? Like, there's no turning back. Like, Brian Thomas, great freaking rookie season. Malik Neighbors, great rookie season. Are you worried about like the quarterback play, especially for Neighbors? Like, it's definitely got to limit his upside at some point, right?
Yeah, Neighbors. I'm glad we're talking about Neighbors because he was one that I looked at and I was thinking, where would I rank him? This dude had games where, what was it? He scored like 40 plus points in fantasy football games last year for us. Going super off to me. He was playing with like Drew Lock and guys like that. So to me, it's like I think his quarterback situation might have got a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the biggest Jackson Dart guy, but at least the Giants went out there in the first round and got them a quarterback. So it's like it looks a little bit better for Malik Neighbors to roll with. But I got Malik Neighbors personally one spot ahead of Drake London. Drake London's somebody I used to have to defend. I felt like I had to defend him for the past
Yeah.
couple of years. I don't feel like I really have to do that this go round. But I do want to say this: Drake London's not at the top of my tier two. Like I definitely got Puka up there. I got Brian Thomas Jr. ahead of Drake London. Neighbors too. So I just want to say it was tough, and I want to say I got Nico Collins in that same tier with those guys. I got Nico just one spot behind Drake London.
Yeah.
So that was like pretty much my tier two. But I'm not really concerned with these guys. I'll say this: I don't see Drake London ever getting into tier one, but I could see BTJ, Malik Neighbors.
I definitely can.
I can see them two getting up there. Drake London, I mean, yeah,
No,
we'll just see. I mean, I'm as high on Drake London as anybody, but.
Well, I actually do have Drake London higher than you looking at my rankings because I got him at 7. I got him ahead of Malik Neighbors on mine, and I never would have thought that I'd be higher on London than you, but I'm just looking at what if. And it's not a what if, it's a calling your shot too about Michael Penix, because I really think Michael Penix is a much better situation in Atlanta than what the Giants got going on right now. And I think Malik Neighbors is a better player than London, but that doesn't mean I think London is a bad player. So there's definitely a point where I do think Drake London can be up at 4 next year and overtake Amon-Ra or somebody like that. Probably not Chase and Jefferson, but probably not CD, but he might could overtake Amon-Ra if he goes out and if Michael Penix is a great quarterback. I feel like that's all he needs. Neighbors is safe though. Neighbors is not going to finish that high.
I'm going to bring up a name right here, Craftman, Lad McConkey. We didn't talk about this before the episode, but where are we feeling with him? Because you got him real high and you've always been on him. I got him at 12, and I thought, damn, I can't believe I got him so high because I was seeing all these names up here with these guys. But my thing is there any – we were talking about any fears with those tier 2 guys. Is there any fear for somebody like Lad McConkey? That would be my question, because this is what I got to say. I saw Hunter Renfrow finish wide receiver 11 one time, and that motherfucker's barely in the league now. So Lad McConkey's way up there. Is he a sell high, or we just ride him out and win championships?
One thing I got to say about, other than Amon-Ra in this top 10 that we just did real quick, Lad McConkey and Amon-Ra are the only players, or Puka's up there too, but them three out of 10 are the only players not drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. So McConkey drafted in the second. It was an early second. The only concern I have with him is really just injuries. He was banged up in college a lot. He's smaller. He attacks the middle of the field where you can take some big licks. That's the only concern I have with him. But I would say, I asked this to Noah earlier, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Name an NFL player in the past that you would be happy that Lad McConkey has the type of career that they had. And this is being realistic. You can't say like Calvin Johnson. And I came up with 2 names. But I'll let you think. Well, mine were a guy on the same team that he replaced, Keenan Allen. I hope he has Keenan Allen type career. If he has that type of career, I think he belongs right here at 10. And the other guy was Chris Godwin. I hope he ends up having the type of career other than the ACL tear for Chris Godwin. If Chris Godwin would have stayed healthy throughout his career without the massive injury, his production though. I hope that McConkey has a Chris Godwin type. I mean, even a Tyler Lockett would be a really good production throughout his career. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for him.
Right. I would say I don't really fear too much about Lad McConkey, because if I did, I would have ranked him lower. You know what I'm saying? Another name, AJ Brown. What about this guy right here? Because last year I was watching rankings of AJ Brown, Craftman, and I was thinking, damn, AJ Brown might be one of the best buy lows in the biz. You know what I'm saying? Now I look at AJ Brown as I think his rankings might be kind of correct. I got him at 14. You got him at 15. I just think this is what AJ Brown is on that run first offense type deal.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about AJ Brown right now, other than I just think his rankings now are appropriate for where we got him. Last year I used to think he was a buy low, but now let's just leave it at that.
He's getting to that stage where it might be a great time to cash in, because you're probably going to miss a year, maybe 2 years of really good production, maybe a top 10 receiver. Most likely a top 10 receiver anyway. It's mostly the offense where they just run so much. They got Hurts, they got Saquon back there, so he still gets most of the targets. He was second in the NFL in target share, 33% of his team targets. So he was still getting a lot of targets, but it was a smaller piece of the pie because they run so much. So he's at the point where I would look to sell him in Dynasty and go ahead and get my haul that I can, and downgrade to a receiver, get a first round pick on top of it or something like that. Like, you give me, I'm looking at my rankings now. You give me Rashee Rice in first. You give me Devontae Smith, the same guy on the same team, Xavier Worthy, somebody like that. The trade don't even have to look like that. It could be something totally different, but I like to get out of players a little bit early, and 27 it's not the end of the world. I usually like 29, like 28, 29, where I like to get rid of them. But with AJ Brown in this offense, it's just sketchy, and he's had just stretches where it's just been ugly. It's killing your team.
Yeah, AJ Brown was somebody who was in that conversation. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, we used to battle with Big Dunk. It used to be AJ Brown versus CD Lamb, like in that 4 or 5 spot like that. AJ Brown was in the top 5 and the top 6. So now to see him down here as like a top 15 dynasty asset, he kind of already dropped off a little bit. But I would still acquire AJ Brown if I could at a certain price. But I just don't expect, what he used to be, because he used to be borderline tier 1 guy, So
there's
Dunk.
Definitely something. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say shout out to Dunk because we won that CD AJ Brown debate, but go ahead, Kraft.
Yeah, we did. I was just saying, there's something psychological that goes on in dynasty minds when you see a player at 28 years old, other than a quarterback and tight end to some extent. But yeah, you start seeing a wide receiver at 28, you're like, all right, well, definitely want to get rid of him before 30. And then when he gets to 29, 30 years old, you're looking at, you got Mike Evans and Devontae Adams, and they still got some football left in them. But you can't – the value is just like shot. You might as well just keep them and play them because you're not getting nothing. A.J. Brown, you still can get a lot. You can definitely still get a lot.
Yeah. All right, Kraft, man, I'm going to bring up some of these names that we got big differences. And everybody, if you're listening, me and Kraft, we're going to try our best to get our rankings somewhere where you can see them. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have a website or nothing like that. But check out our YouTube page. I'm going to try to post them up there on there. And you can see mine, Kraftman, and NDB's full Dynasty wide receiver rankings. One of the names I'm going to bring up right now. I really didn't know what to do about DK Metcalf when I was doing him, because I'm like y'all. I'm usually pretty low on Metcalf. I was kind of buying into him a little bit in redraft last year at his value, and I know Chris was like, Swizzy.
Me too.
He didn't give a fuck. Yeah, and y'all don't give a fuck where his value was. You was gonna pass on him no matter what. I was kind of
I was in. I was in.
Oh, you was in?
I was really in last year.
Well, that dude C Swizzy was out as can be, and my thing is I would rank him real low, but I just can't get over the fact I got him at 23. And you got him at like 37 or something, correct, Craftman, or something real far. Um, my thing is, I just
Yeah.
can't get over that this dude, he just got a bag, and he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers now. I know they ain't got a quarterback, and they never have a quarterback. But this dude, George Pickens, is gone. It's like, damn, I just don't know what to do about DK. So I think I'm a little bit higher than you guys. I don't even know where the community's at. I ain't seen where they got DK Metcalf or anything like that. So what do you think about it, Kraft man?
Well, like you said, they don't have a quarterback. They haven't had a good wide receiver put up numbers on that team since Ben has left. So that's you're talking 4 or 5 years ago since they had a relevant, if you want to call Deontay Johnson a great wide receiver, that's the best one they've had since Ben has left, and a lot of his production came with Ben too. So
right,
I just can't get with the Steelers offense, their passing offense, no quarterback. You talk about a quarterback situation, them and the Giants has got to be the absolute worst that I've seen in a long time. And even if Rodgers goes there, you're talking about hopefully you get a wide receiver 2 year out of Metcalf with Rodgers. And then what happens after that? So it's just I look at my list and I'm like, okay, maybe Metcalf can barely outscore some of these young guys that I got on my list that I would take over him, and some of the veterans like Terry McLaurin and Mike Evans and stuff that I got ahead. And it's not worth maybe he scores 10 more points than Xavier Worthy next year. He's 7 years older, and I'm not an ageist at all. I love drafting veterans, but I like drafting veterans who are way more productive than the young guys that everybody's trying to go after to build youth. And this isn't – he just falls in that category where he ain't neither one of them.
Yeah. All the guys, all our team, not a lot of DK Metcalf love coming from the Fake Stuff podcast crew. And that's not just me and Kraft. That's Swizzy, that's NDB. Like, we're not big Metcalf guys. And I've had some interest.
I like him,
I got
though.
DK Metcalf. You do like him?
Yeah, I like him. I like him as a player. I think he's a really good player. I just like the way he plays. He plays hard.
Yep, I agree. I mean, that one's just there was just a few names where I was just like, man, I don't even know what to fucking do. And DK was like the main one. I got him way higher than y'all because it ain't because I traded for him this year. I just did.
Yeah,
with you.
You're gonna. Yeah, with me. Are you gonna change the rankings? Or are you happy where he's at right now?
I mean, the reason why I don't drop him lower is just that 4 year, $80 million. I mean, like, it's just like you're gonna get 4 years with a stable franchise, like
$150 million.
But Pittsburgh, yeah, whatever the million was, it was something ridiculous. But he was making in 4 years, and they just got George Pickens out of there, so it's like. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers does come, you better ball out. That's all I can say. I mean, but that's just if he does come. Honestly, I'm to the point where I'm just assuming he's coming, but we'll see how that one goes. You want to talk about your
even if he does? What we talked about McConkey already.
Oh, I was talking about this guy, yeah, boy. Yo, motherfucking Jerry Judy Light right here. This is if you ever listen to the podcast right here, I always bring up some guys just never die, man. They just never die. Like Trey Lance, that hype went around for years and years. Jerry Judy all the time, man. Every year, Jerry Judy this. Here's the Cruz version of our Jerry Judy, Trey Lance, Cam Akers. Jameson Williams right here. I don't even have him nowhere near my top 36. NDB had him pretty high, the top 15.
Yes, NDB's the one. I got Jameson at 25, so I'm in the middle of y'all. Noah is really the one who is falling in love with Jameson Williams. So you had to talk to him because I'm just sitting here right in the middle. I feel like I've always liked him, and you've known that. But Noah wants to invite him over for a sleepover, and he wants to cuddle all night long. And I ain't like that. I just want you to come out, hang out, drink some beers, and leave. And so I don't know, man. There is a reason why he should be ranked pretty high. He was a very big prospect coming out of college. He's done nothing in the NFL to prove that he's not good, except for off field stuff, but nothing on the field. And when you got Jared Goff back there just tossing that ball around a yard, Jameson is averaging like 17 yards a reception last year. He was absolutely killing it, over 1,000 yards last year, first time. And if you're talking about a wide receiver 2 on a team, I mean, there's a lot of guys that we mentioned with Devontae Smith. You know, you got your Jordan Addisons, your typical wide receiver 2s that got an alpha on the other side. But Jameson is the type that he's the Jalen Waddle, who is the wide receiver 2, but he's the explosive player on the team. Devontae Smith, players like that, which I do have ranked higher. I'm speaking for Noah now at this point. I think that's where he's coming from, is that he thinks he's a top tier wide receiver 2 on a team who's the explosive type instead of the consistent type.
Yeah. To me, this is best ball right here. This is somebody like I'll take it a best ball league. You know what I mean? This Jameson Williams, to me, we're going into his rookie contract year. Like his breakout season last year is wide receiver 22. He's
even
never
better.
He's never played a full season, not even once. I mean, it's just to the point where it's like, if this is if last year was his breakout season, that's his upside. That ain't top 15 for me. And his new offensive coordinator coming in, Jameson Williams, poised for a breakout season. So I guess last year wasn't the breakout at wide receiver 22. We're going into year 4 with Jameson Williams. I'm just like, man, come on, man. Let's just let this man rest. Let's get rid of the hype of Jameson Williams. Jerry Jeudy light, because he ain't even he ain't even had stretches of Jerry Jeudy production. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Jeudy's he's had production way higher than Jameson Williams does for a few games in last year. But hey, I give Jameson Williams credit. Like he did have, you know, his version of a breakout season, but I mean, he ain't reliable. He ain't even played a whole season. I bash on Puka Nacua for being out last year. You know I'm about to bash on this guy for 3+ years of being out. I mean, come on, man. I just don't see the Jameson Williams. I do know what it is. We down here in SEC territory. We down here. We all watch Alabama play all the time, and y'all love Jameson Williams. Y'all love these SEC guys.
That definitely has nothing to do with it, because that's been so long. That's been so long from now. I can't stand Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy played in the SEC. So I mean, what does that have to do with anything? I ain't got
I'm just wondering, where are we coming up with this shit? Like, I'm just saying, where are we coming up with this? Jameson Williams, like,
he's a good player. You sit there and you put your glasses on, Matt. If you can't see the TV, you either need a bigger TV or you need some glasses. Because when you watch Jameson, you have to see, okay, he's coming into his own. It might have taken a little bit longer. Let me remind you, Devontae Adams was absolutely garbage his first 2 years. Things happen, things change. When you break out, it just goes up from here. Like he's done made it. Like he's made it finally. It took a while, and now it's time to really see the upside. And it's not what Noah thinks it is. I always get the last word. I'm gonna let you get the last word, but I got my ranking perfect. He's right at 25. He's right. He's not too low. He's not way up there where Noah has him. Like Noah would rather have him than Jamar Chase at this point. Like he's like he's absurd with this. I wish he was here too. I don't know who's more absurd, you or him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really have much to say about Jameson Williams, because I was surprised that he was even in y'all's rankings like that. When I seen him, I was like, good Lord, I can't believe he's in the mix with. I mean, he was a top 15 guy.
Let me see where he is in the public. I got to see where he is in the public view. Jameson, that's season projections. Man, I'm just screwing up left and right. I can't get nothing right. Jameson is at wide receiver 32, behind DK Metcalf. You cannot tell me you would take DK Metcalf over Jameson Williams.
Oh man, without hesitation, it's really not even a
That's
debate. I would
crazy.
take a lot of guys over Jameson. I'll take Jaden Reed over Jameson at this point. I mean, I don't really I'll definitely take any of these rookies over Jameson. So I don't know. I mean, Brandon Ayuk or Jameson Williams. I feel like that's a tough one.
That's Jameson.
I mean,
It's not tough.
Ayuk's got 3 years left on his deal, and with San Francisco and Brock Purdy, you know. So,
I got Ayuk at 35.
Yeah, I got Ayuk. Oh, yeah, same. Dead on, man. 35.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
There you go.
We're going to move on, man. Enough Jameson Williams talk, because we're going to talk about my guy, T. Higgins, because NDB, he was the highest on him. I think he had him at Craftman's got him at 13. I got him at 19. And this is the reason why I got him low. This dude cannot be trusted. I think everybody's just kind of riding the high of he won you a championship last year. That dude went off in week 17 for 40-plus points, and I think we all saw it, and I think we all know it, and I'm just telling y'all now, that's fool's gold. I'll go ahead and sell high right now because that motherfucker's going to get hurt, or he's going to do this, or he's going to do that, he's going to sit out this. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't trust Jameson Williams. I sure don't trust T. Higgins. I mean, that dude's come into the game for one snap and walked out. And I'm a Clemson guy. The blanket's behind me, man. I just don't think – my thing with T. Higgins is he just cannot be trusted. Like, I don't really want him on my team. I think this is the best – this might be one of the best sell highs in Dynasty football right now.
Hey, I can see both sides of it, but I want every piece of this Bengals offense. And they did give some incentives for him to play. Like, if he misses games, he don't make money in the way the contract was structured. So, kudos to the Bengals for doing that. And I was about to say Bengals, and I seen that Clemson thing back there. They're both orange. I was about to say kudos to Clemson, and I almost got my brain got a little twisted for a second. But I think he's a great player and a great offense. And Jamar Chase being there, he's going to kill it. And unless it's a major injury like an ACL or something like that, I tend to forgive players for being injured. I mean, I even got Jalen Waddle ranked as much as I can't stand him sometimes. But it's like if you haven't tore your Achilles or torn your ACL multiple times or just been out for an extended period, which he's not ever out for an extended period, then I'm just going to deal with the pain that he causes sometimes, and hopefully he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Can't rank players on injuries, man, unless it's a big one. That's my rule. You'll miss out. You're going to miss out on it.
My thing is it really? I mean, is it really injuries? You come in for one play and you walk out. I mean, I don't know. I just don't really understand what that is about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like T. Higgins always got something weird going on. But I want to say, T, I'm sorry. I still think you're the Clemson GOAT, though. But I just think he's always got a little weird shit going on.
There is some concern that he's been going through all this and has sat out games, and he did just get paid. So it could – that's my concern, if I have one, is that if it was bad then when he was needing money, then it might be worse now that he has money. Do you know what I mean? Look at Kenny Golladay. Look at players like that. Like look at Deontay Johnson with the Panthers. They get some money. Yeah. Some players just they just take the money and run, like Steve Miller said.
well, shit. Let's talk about his cousin real quick. His cousin, Jaden Higgins. I look
He's
at
not
that
his
name
cousin.
And I'm just like, I just don't even know if I spelled that name right. I just don't look right.
I think you did.
Jaden Higgins. Listen, I'm with crap. When I did my first draft, I had totally left Jaden Higgins out, and then I slid him back in because I had to, and I knew I needed to because he's got that, day 2 draft capital, second round, and to a team that needed some they needed some wide receiver help this year. So I'm thinking Jaden Higgins might be a little bit lower on everybody other than the Kraft man, because Kraft man's got him up there. I'm concerned my rankings and what's the public got Jaden Higgins at, because I'm thinking Jaden Higgins is one of those guys that could pop off. You know what I'm saying? I think Kraft man might be hitting this one on the nail. So you're the highest on him. I'm gonna let you talk about him, but I got him personally. I got him at 33. Uh, where you got him in? Kraftman's got him at.
I got him at
so a total. Yeah, so
yeah.
totally 10 spots ahead. So you're super high on him. I've got some optimism for him, but go ahead, Kraft.
Well, for short term, I think that if you were to ask me who I think who has the best rookie season out of the receivers, I think it's between Jaden Higgins and Golden. I'm down on McMillan. That's just how I am. I mean, it just is what it is. But I'm a sucker. I will admit this, that I'm a sucker for the Texans wide receiver too. Tank Dell was high on my list last year. You know, that was a bad injury. Who knows what he would have turned out to be. But I was extremely down on Stephon Diggs last year. And to my own peril, he was going off. He was fine when he was healthy. Like, he was going off. So I just think with Nico on the other side, opening things up, I think Jaden Higgins is that type of player, even though he's bigger, taller. He's not just a downfield threat. I think he's going to eat over the middle of the field. They're going to use him. They drafted the other guy, Jalen Noel, and he's going to have to struggle for snaps with Christian Kirk in the slot. Christian Kirk's not moving outside. So Jaden Higgins is going to start week 1 with the Texans. I loved his tape. He got drafted in the 2nd round. It wasn't the 1st round, but it's still really good draft capital. I took McConkey. I'm not going to keep mentioning it, but last year I did the same thing with McConkey. I didn't really care where he was drafted, even as long as he got good draft capital. So this is my McConkey this year. I don't care if he was drafted in the 2nd round. I'm ranking him higher than the 1st round guys, which I got him ahead of McMillan.
I hear you, Kraft man. I just like the Kraft man's confidence with this, man.
I love Higgins, man.
Hey, I respect it because Jaden Higgins was definitely starting to gain a little hype when we were talking rookies a few weeks ago. And I was saying Jaden Higgins had a little bit of a following as far as people thinking he could have been the top wide receiver in the draft, because I see all kinds of rankings being put out in that Twitter universe. So I'm with you. I think Higgins got some good upside, and you're right. Stephon Diggs was going the fuck off, and that was with Nico over there. So, and that would be like my concern is Jaden Higgins being kind of similar to Nico, but it's like, you know, they were kind of.
I don't think they're similar.
So
I think their body type is similar. I don't think their play is.
I think their position is similar. I feel like Jaden Higgins don't exactly. He's not going to be in the slot. I feel like I feel like they kind of play the same position.
Yeah, I could see the concern. I could see it. Like Diggs last year, he could be moved in the slot if they needed to. He could play outside and in the slot. I think Higgins can too. So when they're running 2 wide receivers on the field, I think it's going to be him and Nico.
All right, so this podcast is high on Jaden Higgins. Well, let's talk about somebody that Kraft might want to hate on a little bit. I wish we had Swizzy for this one because Carolina Panthers, Ted McMillan, and I'm the highest, obviously. I mean, my first thing, I got him at 13. When I showed y'all these rankings, that man, first thing NDB said was Ted was way too high. And I'm just not, listen, I'm not a Panthers hater. I'm not a Bryce Young hater. I've been believing in Bryce. I believe Bryce Young's about to get this thing rolling this year. And I know a lot of people don't think that, but Ted McMillan, I mean, let's just be real. I mean, this dude he could easily be one of these tier 2 guys after this year. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
not with the Panthers.
As far as athleticism, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, I get it that it's the Panthers. I don't like the Panthers either, but I'm just saying, Ted McMillan, they've been investing in this offense for the Panthers and putting them around Bryce Young. So I could definitely see Ted McMillan going off. He's going to be the clear wide receiver 1 on this team. And I think athletic-wise and just what his profile was coming out and stuff, I mean, I just think he could easily be a tier 2 guy when we're done after season 1 with Ted McMillan. But I know you don't think that, so go ahead, Crab Man.
He's a pretty good player, and I like the player, but I think you got him. I think you got him ranked around where his ceiling is. I think you're ranking him where we talked about before the draft, where you were saying, maybe he can make it up here with the Drake Londons and stuff. Like, he ain't got far to go to get Drake London compared to your rankings. He only got like 3 or 4 spots. So you're ranking him way up high. Like this, you're already making him an A+,
yeah,
like an A+ student,
but
who can't do nothing but fail at this point.
But he doesn't. But he's like, my thing is, I don't have him in that tier 2, but I got him down here. Like, he could definitely go up. I'm saying is like, he could definitely. I got Ladd McConkey ahead of him. Man, dude, it's not even close talent wise. Not even debatable. So I'm just saying, like, that dude could definitely get into tier 2. I don't know if Ladd McConkey's really rising up anymore. We're seeing the best out of somebody like that. I'm just saying, I would view Ted McMillan closer into that tier 2 range than I would. Like, for instance, you got him at 24. I got him at 13. So we're obviously got different opinions on him, but I could definitely see Ted McMillan getting up in there with that Drake London. And Drake London's in tier 2. I mean, I got Ted in like kind of in my bottom of the tier 3-ish. So it's like there's room for improvement, but I'm not counting out him getting into tier 1. I mean, athletically, he's way more athletic than Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's like he could get up there.
Yeah, he could get up there. It's the fit with – I talk about the Panthers being bad, but the Panthers might be okay, but it's the fit with Bryce Young. This type of receiver, they needed an Egbuka. They needed you've seen who's been going off for the Panthers. This 34-year-old Adam Thielen. You know why? Because Bryce Young can't push the ball down the field. His arm strength ain't there. Like, if Ted McMillan was playing with a quarterback with a strong arm, if he's going to be Mike Evans' replacement in the future with Baker, or playing with Josh Allen or somebody, or Mahomes or somebody that can push the ball down the field, I would be extremely happy with it. But I think he's going to run a lot of go routes and not get looked at. And that's my problem is I think Bryce Young is just – he might succeed by playing safe and throwing the ball in the intermediate levels like he has been with Thielen. And Xavier Legette, I mean – Ted McMillan's better than him, but I just don't think Bryce Young's going to push the ball down the field. They're going to run Chuba. They're going to toss the ball 8 yards, 5 yards, and he's just not that type of receiver that fits into this offense to me.
See, to me, I feel like Ted can do that. He can catch it short and go long, and he can take intermediate routes. To me, Xavier Legette's the one going to be running the go routes, in my opinion, and not doing nothing like he did last year. So – that's just one we got a difference on. Ted McMillan. Another one I thought we was going to have a big difference on, but we really don't. That's Rome Odunze. Listen, man, here's what I'll say. Ben Johnson, where was he at? He was with Detroit last year. So if you were excited and happy about Jameson Williams last year, then I think everybody should go ahead and be excited about somebody like Rome Odunze. If wide receiver 22 is a breakout, let's see what the wide receiver 49 from last year or whatever number he was, something crazy. But, I mean, Rome Odunze, I don't really even know what to say about him, really. I feel like I thought we were going to have a huge, big disagreement on him. But he's somebody I think's got high upside, and he could get up in that tier 2 range too. But, I ain't ranked him like that. So, me being Mr. Rome Odunze guy, you got him higher than I got him. So, what's up, Kraft?
Okay, this is a pure upside play. This is what you did with Ted McMillan. This is my Ted McMillan. And I think that if Rome Odunze came out in this class this year, he would have been the first wide receiver taken. He came out with Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison last year. So you think McMillan's better than Odunze?
Yeah, probably. I'd say so.
Well, I guess we'll disagree again.
I ain't a scout.
Yeah. Well, I like Odunze better, and the thing I have with him is if Caleb Williams can take the step up, it's a tall task. I mean, the Bears, they are the Bears, and they were ranked 32nd in yards per game last year, dead last. You remember how bad the Raiders was. The Bears were worse than that.
Yeah.
They were worse. So
Oh man.
you got DJ Moore there, who is going to command a lot of targets. And if you want to compare the Ben Johnson offense to the Lions offense, DJ Moore is the Amon-Ra. Rome Odunze is the Jameson, like you said. And they just drafted their tight end. So Rome Odunze is going to be, I just said earlier, Jameson, 17 yards per catch last year, went over 1,000 yards. If a Rome Odunze can do that, I think you'll be happy by the end of the year. I'm not saying – I think this is more of a long-term, not this year type play, but if he comes out, has a Jameson type year where he finishes wide receiver, say 20th, has 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, plays that Jameson role, and then he will eventually take over DJ Moore's mantle over there. So for this year, not that great. I know I got him ranked high. I said some bad things about the Bears offense, but this is a total upside play that he's just going to be the freaking Brandon Marshall of the Bears, or something along those lines, where he's just going to be the target king in 2 or 3 years.
I like what you say, upside play, and we did a mock draft, and we had Dunk on here, and he took Caleb Williams real high, and he said this is an upside play. It's a lot of upside for the Bears, you know what I'm saying? You're taking a risk on these Bears players. It's like you say, it's the Bears. I mean, we've all seen it. The Bears ain't buttoned up. I have liked some of their moves recently, but yeah, upside is the key word for Rome Odunze. But we got to real quick. Luther Burden, because this is what I want to say. You talk about DJ Moore being the Amon-Ra role. Nah, that dude just got replaced by a guy who got drafted in the second round of this draft right here. Luther Burden specifically fits that game. I mean, this right here, catching it short and going long, like that's his style. Like I think
You're
DJ
right.
Moore's the odd man out. When I did my rankings, I had DJ Moore in, and then you was right. You said 3 Bears in the top 36, like. Yeah, you're right. That's fucking insane. That ain't happening. So it's like somebody's got to be the odd man out. And to me, it's DJ Moore. And I know NDB probably sitting over here when he's listening to this pod tomorrow. He's probably going to be bobbing his head up and down. Because I don't even have DJ Moore up there anymore because I think he kind of lost his spot a little bit. I think he'll be starting. And they got so many weapons. So it's like, what can I expect from DJ Moore? But this guy came in day 2, round 2 draft capital on this. I've talked about him on I went on a solo and I talked about Luther Burden. Like, I wasn't the highest on Luther Burden, but if you were high on Luther Burden, I wouldn't be freaked out about it because he went to the Chicago Bears. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it might actually work out just fine for his style of his game if Ben Johnson's going to use him the way Luther Burden's his game translate, or how his game was in college, you know. So, I'm not a Luther Burden hater. I wasn't like the highest on him. Honestly, out of those top like 4 guys, I was probably lower on Luther Burden than, you know, I liked Higgins more than Burden, and so it was just, you know, I just don't think people should be freaked out about it. I think Luther Burden is probably going to be fine in this offense.
That's kind of where we disagree a little bit, is the DJ Moore versus Burden. I'm not Noah where I just want to bury DJ Moore 6 feet under for no reason at all. I don't understand the hate for DJ Moore. I asked him, why you hate DJ Moore so much? Well, he finished wide receiver 6 one year, and he had like a 50-point game. That's the only reason that he finished that high with Justin Fields. It's true, but why do you hate him for it? It makes no sense. Like, the dude just had a really good game, and you hate him for it. And DJ Moore is just a lot more polished at this point than Luther Burden. So it's going to take a lot of time to go just for Burden to overtake that mantle from DJ Moore. So this is a long-term play for me. But if you think that he's going to overtake him pretty quick, then go ahead and draft him in your rookie draft. But I'm not with that. And I still think the Bears are going to be shite. I think they're going to be shit.
Yeah.
Except for Doomsday.
Hey, I do want to tell everybody to draft Luther Burden in your rookie drafts. I've seen that joker go at the 207. So I will say go get him if he's dropping like that. But Yeah, I mean, I hate it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a weird statement coming out of my mouth, Craft Man, but I might be watching some Bears football this year just to see the offense a little bit. Never thought I'd be, getting up to watch the Bears. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's see what happens. I mean, I kind of want to see. You got this generational quarterback. You got Rome Odunze, who was drafted in the top 10. You got another bird. Hey, man, you got two good tight ends. So let's just fucking see this shit. I can't wait. I'm tired of talking about the Bears, to be honest, because we talked about the Bears a lot. I'm tired of talking about them.
If it doesn't work, Matt, can we give up? Because it can't get no better than this, right? Like the skill positions cannot get no better. And they went out and got an offensive line.
Couldn't agree more. We've been talking about the Bears. I say we talk about it. A lot of organizations, some of them ain't buttoned up. The Bears are clearly that, but it's like some of these organizations, if they're ever gonna change, right? It's gotta be with this man. It's gotta be with this group of guys right here. You got your generational quarterback, So it's like, if you're right, dude, I will never, ever, 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 ever be talking about the Bears if these motherfuckers can't get this shit right with Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying go out there and win the division. I'm just saying give us an offense for fantasy football's sake, and let's just see how it works. I don't think they'll be winning. I ain't really expecting them to be winning that much in the division. So, but give us an offense, Ben Johnson.
They have everything they need. They got the coach, they got the players, they got the offensive line, they got the quarterback. They even got a good defense. So there's really absolutely no excuse. There really wasn't an excuse last year, truthfully. I guess the rookie quarterback excuse. You did have that one.
Yeah. You're just really young. You know what I'm saying? Like, young guys ain't going all right, well, hell, let's talk about your boy Matthew Golden, because this is one I've just said it from the jump. Like, I don't dislike Matthew Golden, but I just think he's just a regular one of these guys that the Packers have already had. So I don't really have hopes for his upside. I don't think his downside is bad. I just think he's got the same upside as Jaden Reed and whoever else you want to throw out there. Christian Watson. I mean, it's just a bosh tosh shebang of guys that I've said it like a few podcasts in a row. Like, I'm just not impressed. I wasn't really. Matthew Golden gained a lot of hype in the rookie part of all this shit, and then he goes to your Packers in the first round. So I'm gonna give him his credit and his due, but it's just like, why do you have to go to the Packers? Like, why you gotta go there with all these guys that are all the same and shit? So it's like, y'all should have got a Ted McMillan, is what I'm saying. That's the kind of player y'all really should have been going after, not another one. Another one. What are you gonna do next year? You gonna go get another one of these guys? Like, and then later in the draft, you draft another wide receiver. It's just like, man, what are the Packers doing, man? What do y'all do with wide receivers up there, man?
Hey, y'all, you give a lot of disrespect to the green and gold, but they got the same kind of offense that the Vikings got over there, where everybody's just like, oh, man, we love this Vikings offense. Addison, and of course, Justin Jefferson. But what I'm trying to get to right here is the fact that we have drafted no-name wide receivers out of college. Jaden Reed, who was he in Michigan State? Nothing. What did we turn him into? Turn him into a decent fantasy asset. Okay, Christian Watson coming out of North Dakota State. Who is he? Okay, he's just some random dude that we drafted who's got a crazy athletic ability. But he wasn't a polished wide receiver. Drafted in the second round. We don't draft wide receivers in the first. So this is the guy that is the best wide receiver that we have drafted in forever. We have turned Jaden Reed and Christian Watson into fantasy assets. This guy right here, Matthew Golden, is the best wide receiver that the Packers have drafted since I can't even remember. Devontae Adams wasn't even a first-round pick. So we don't take receivers in the first round. We're going to make this guy, because our offense can make receivers relevant, we're going to make this guy into a very relevant wide receiver, and he's going to be pretty stout. I know I joke about him being up there, like jumping way up high, but I got him ranked at wide receiver 22. I got him in between Xavier Worthy and Jaden Higgins and McMillan. So he's around them rookies. I like him the best out of all the rookies drafted this year, but there are still guys that I like. Oh, well, Travis Hunter, I got him a little higher, but I like him the most outside of Hunter.
Yeah, the one thing I will disagree with, what was that statement you said? Something about we got a good offense like the Vikings, yada yada. Like, man, nah, Jordan Love gonna have to play a little bit better, and Jordan Addison would be the wide receiver.
We do have a good offense.
You know what I'm saying?
We do have a good offense.
I think he got a solid one
with Jordan Love not playing that well.
Well, to me, that's just Josh Jacobs. Then he's a good ass running back. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying we can turn. Matt LaFleur knows how to turn average players into fantasy relevant players. I mean, Tucker Kraft, who knew who he was? Like, he ended up being a solid tight end for us. Jaden Reed, when they drafted him in the second round, it was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, they reached like hell for this guy. And he comes in and he's a good player for us. And, you know, if the thing I disagree with you on the most with the Packers is that there is a lot of room for a breakout wide receiver. I don't think that it necessarily just has to be, we're just going to spread the ball around like this and that. Like they're in desperate need of an alpha. Yeah. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Honestly, you make good points, Kraft, man. Just the part that gets me is I just feel like he's just like all these other guys, but.
And he might be.
But yeah.
He might be.
Yeah, well, shoot, Kraft, man, that was pretty much all the names that I put down on the thing, but I want to bring up a couple of them real quick, though, Kraft, because I want to say something, and yeah, you're going to – I know you got things to say, too. One name that I was going to say, person that could be way higher, and I feel like I would have ranked higher, Rashee Rice. I wanted to say something about Rashee Rice because I got him at 16, and that's one where it's like I feel like that dude – yeah, I feel like he could be really higher. You know what I'm saying? But he got hurt last year and stuff like that. So it's like he might be like when I did my list, it's like Rashee Rice could be a little slick buy low depending on what people really think about him. But he's also one guy that I think he could significantly. I mean, he has a chance. He could probably jump higher than a lot of these guys as far as like where I got him and how far. I feel like Rashee Rice is one of those that might be a little bit too low on. But I wanted to say that. Go ahead, Kraft.
Well, I agree with you. Rashee Rice is just he's outstanding the way that he just fits that offense so good over the middle of the field because Travis Kelce's fading out a little bit, and he's filling in that role where it's just the way that offense runs, short passing game and run after the catch, and he's perfect for that. But they did draft another guy like that. I'm not scared of Jalen Royals taking over Rashee Rice, but that's why they drafted him, and he's going to play that same kind of role. But one guy that I want to talk about because this is personally my hardest player to rank, Travis Hunter. I don't know where to rank him because I want to ask you this, Matt. Like, if he is a full-time receiver, plays mainly all the time on offense, is he a better receiver than Devontae Smith? Because I don't think he is.
Man, I think it's tough to say because.
But he's younger.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's tough. It's tough to say because it's like. Obviously, like as a prospect, it's like Travis Hunter is a overall better prospect, but it's like it's not because just his offense. You know what I'm saying? It's because of his defense is good too. So it's like you're right. Travis Hunter is one of the hardest motherfuckers to fucking. And if you and when I get on that Twitterverse and I see what people are saying, some people are like, "How could Travis Hunter fall farther than the 102?" And I've seen it happen in multiple leagues, so it's like I can clearly see how he could fall past the 102. So my thing is like he went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who traded up to get him, and I'm not a T-Law hater. Like the blanket in the background, I actually think T-Law is probably going to be pretty good. I think Doug Peterson kind of held him back a little bit, and I think him, BTJ, and Travis Hunter. I just think Travis Hunter's going to be on that offense a little more than I was expecting him before that NFL draft because I had my concerns where I was like, man, that dude's going to be playing both ways, and we got to hope he's featured in the offense, and we got to hope he's doing this with Cleveland, and this and that. Now it just seems like a little bit less of my concern. So it's like, I got him at 17. That's where I got him. And
yeah, and
you're right.
I got him
Might
at
be the hardest one to
19.
rank.
I got him at 19, right behind Addison. And my thought process behind that was, I think Jordan Addison is a little bit better of a receiver than Travis Hunter is, especially at this point. Addison's still young. He's 20. I think he's 23, 24 years old still. So, and I like the wide receiver 2 a little bit better on the Vikings than I would like the wide receiver 2 on the Jags. Not to say that I don't think Trevor Lawrence can. Christian Kirk's had some decent years with him, and he could definitely be relevant and be, maybe finish in the top 24 next year. But I think Jordan Addison's a better player. I think he's a better receiver for fantasy purposes, and he plays on an offense where it's just like, why would you bet against the Vikings offense? They just keep doing it year in and year out. So he was incredibly hard to. And if you like BTJ that much as we do, it's kind of hard to put 2 Jaguars receivers in like the top 15.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard to put him where I put him, period. Yeah, you're right. I mean, crap, man, before this episode, you were saying we should do one, talk about widest range of outcomes. It's like, this motherfucker here really is.
What if he plays 60% of the snaps on offense? What if he don't play the whole amount? Like, we're looking at best case scenario where we got him ranked right now. What if he only is a part-time player on offense?
Right. It's like me and you, we come back to it. I mean, I agree with you. It's just like the only thing is like Jacksonville trading up with the intentions of him playing both ways is really what kind of gets me to where I would want Travis Hunter on my team. I mean, I just drafted Travis Hunter. He fell to the 105. So everybody's probably like, I can't believe he fell to the 105. But
it makes sense.
Like I feel like some people are so high, and then some people are like real low, and then me and Kraft, man, we right here in the middle, just like It's tough to say. Travis Hunter's a tough one to do. So,
but he could be way down. Like I could see him, way down there with Igbuka, or Jalen Waddle or something. He could crash and burn for fantasy purposes.
Hey, for all we know, they'll be winning football games. Might decide they might not need him that much on offense. Maybe they just need him to play a little defense. 5-star. He was a 5-star cornerback coming out. So.
Could. I don't know. I don't know if Jaguars are going to be winning a lot of games like that where they don't need him on offense, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that one's Travis Hunter for real. Tough. It might be the toughest one to rank. Him and DK were tough to me. Any other names, Kraft man? Spitfire, Fire Sale. Any other names? Bring up real quick.
I think we really covered it all. We didn't really go in order of our rankings. So if you watch this episode, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they left this guy out or something. Like we didn't necessarily leave the guys out. We got JSN in there. We didn't talk about them. We got some other players, Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy. We didn't talk about all of them, but it doesn't mean we didn't rank them.
Right. I agree. Marvin Harrison. I got him in the 10, in my top 10 still. I don't know. I wish I would have just looked at some. I did my dynasty rankings without looking at anybody else's dynasty rankings. Sometimes I like to pull up 3, 4, 5 samples and check it out. So I didn't do that this go around, and I'm not really sure where Marvin Harrison is at in the world of people's, but I'm not giving up on him because of one bad rookie. He's a generational talent, is he not? People out there. So I still got him in my top 10. I haven't faded him just because of a bad rookie year.
And nothing changed. Yeah, nothing changed with the Cardinals. So they still believe that he's going to be the number one. Him and Trey McBride are going to be their offense. So I would just, doing these rankings, I would encourage everybody, before you go into your startups, make sure you know what receivers you're going to take, especially from like wide receiver 12 to 30 something, because it's a massive tier. and that was it was really hard to rank a lot of them guys from like 17 to 30 for me. It was like I don't know what to do with these guys, but I had to sit around and think about it for a little bit, and hopefully got it right. It was a tough task.
Right. Hey, and all these right here, subject to change. I mean, me and Craftman will take in the information as we go. Long off season, so these things can move up and down. I guess real quick, I just want to say Garrett Wilson. That's my gut feeling draft dynasty ranking right there. For some reason, I just feel like Garrett Wilson's about to have a good year with Justin Fields. Can't explain why. I ain't got no data behind it, but I just kind of think it might happen. But I got him up high, too, is what I'm saying. I got him at 11. I feel like that might be higher than a lot of people. So
this is the year where we give up if it doesn't happen. He was the wide receiver 10 last year, though. So what do you mean by give up? I mean, what do I mean by give up? I'm the one who said it. So I don't know. As wide receiver, if he finishes at wide receiver 14 next year, what do you think? You're just keeping him where he's at?
I would just kind of I'll put it like this. This is not what you wanted Garrett Wilson to be when you put him in your rookie drafts. We shouldn't be talking about him right now like this. Hopefully I shouldn't be saying, oh, I hope he does this and this, or I'm giving up. But it's like, man, if he don't do it this year, it's like that Garrett Wilson ain't that top tier prospect that everybody was expecting him to be. Like, I mean, I got Drake London high. Everybody was expecting Garrett Wilson to be ahead of him. That ain't the case for me. So I don't know what we mean by give up either. Maybe just give up on him being the top.
Like a top 10, but we say that now. But if he finishes right where it's like, he has a decent year, but not a great year, then we're going to be talking about it next year. The same old thing. But I wanted to mention a couple before you log out. Just a couple players we didn't mention. We ain't got to get in depth, but in our top 36, we did have Zay Flowers and Igbuka. We didn't forget about them. Jalen Waddle was in there. Then we had some vets like Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, and Mike Evans. So we didn't purposefully leave these guys out. It's just, this ain't this was the kind of episode we were trying to really figure out where we disagreed on some players.
Yeah, like this is the podcast. Like, just go check out our YouTube page. I'm gonna have some dynasty rankings for y'all, and really take a gander at what me and Craftman, the work we put in. But yeah, this was like big differences. Dynasty rankings just in general. But yeah, thanks for listening to the show, Craftman. Anything you'd like to add?
Nah, man. Just appreciate everybody for listening, and check us out. Don't be a hoe. Share the show. And Matt, go ahead and finish us off, man.
Yeah, man. Fake stuff. Check us out on Twitter. You can check me out at CrewmanHam, but really, I don't even care about that Twitter shit. You know what I'm saying, Craftman? Because I just want to say, don't be a hoe and share the motherfucking show. And because really, that is the best way. Heck yeah. I mean, you guys don't even know. When I'm at work, I've shared the show with 3 or 4 guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can share the show with people. People like fantasy football and gambling and stuff. You never know. So share the show. You got to
get your game. You got to get your game up, Matt. You say 3 or 4. I pretty much told everybody at work I could about it. I'm like, hey, I know you be driving around in that brown truck all day. I know you ain't got nothing to listen to. So just put this on if you like fantasy football, and let me know what you think.
Hey, man, that's why Craftman's the best. So, hey, we about to log on off this thing. Like I said, everybody, thank y'all so much. But with that said, we are out.
Peace.